How's it going, everyone? Jimmy here, and today I want to show you guys some interesting new tech that Tokido was trying to utilize at the recent ESL Brooklyn Beatdown tournament. So, when he was playing against Momochi in Losers Finals, he was trying to utilize a new option select, and thankfully, he messed it up a couple of times. This new tech is much easier to spot when you mess it up, so thanks a lot for that, Tokido. And yeah, let's take a look at the tournament footage to show you guys what I mean. So this is the first time Tokido tries to pull off this new tech, and I want you guys to pay attention to how he decides to pressure Momochi after this critical art connects.
Locked into it, and he's gonna spin the meter to get that big chunk of damage.
Okay, see, he did a crouching light kick into a parry, which is very unusual. When I first saw this live, I was like, okay, Tokido messed up his inputs. Even pro players make these kind of mistakes every once in a while. Not a big deal. But he did it again. So let's take a look at the footage that I have prepared for this as well.
Right now.
So let's take a look at it from here.
Backwards movement from him in this set, especially after the game he won.
There it is again, crouching light kick into a parry. Now, when he did this, like, the second time, I figured, okay, this has to be some sort of tech, and I was thinking really hard on what did Tokido do there? Like, why would you ever do a crouching light kick into a parry? And I think I figured out what kind of option select he was trying to go for. It didn't really work out, but as I said, the only reason why I figured out this new tech is because Tokido messed up his own tech. So I'm really glad that happened. So let's go into training mode so I can show you guys what Tokido was going for here. So first of all, we have to ask ourselves, what do Ryu players normally do after a crouching light kick? And the answer is simple. Usually you will do a crouching light kick into crouching jab and hit confirm into DP or whatever you want, basically. This is a very, very normal string that you will see from Ryu players. Now, we know Tokido was doing a crouching light kick and then afterwards he was doing parry. So how can we combine these two pieces of information? The answer is this input. So take a look at my input. I did a crouching light kick and then a crouching jab plus parry. Okay? And you saw the jab came out. If I do the same input outside of the crouching light kick range, it will actually give me parry instead. So this is basically what we have been seeing from Tokido. Tokido does not do crouching light kick into jab, but he does jab plus parry. And why does he do that? I did a little bit of testing because I knew, okay, Tokido was trying to, like after grabbing the opponent, for example, he was doing a delayed crouch light kick into this parry input. Okay, and why does that make sense? I did a little bit of testing, as I said, and the training dummy is gonna do exactly that. He's basically gonna knock me down, and then is gonna do, he's gonna hold down back, and right afterwards there's gonna be this input, and it has some very interesting effects. Basically, this is gonna beat Jump Tech OS because I'm gonna do, or the training dummy is gonna do a delayed crouching light kick, right? So it's going to catch me in the pre-jump frame, so this option beats out Jump Tech OS. You will hit confirm into a DP, and yeah, you will get some damage if the opponent does a Jump Tech OS. Now, another option that is very popular is waking up with buttons. Usually, if you want to blow up the opponent's defense, if you wanna make sure the opponent cannot really push for a lot of damage on offense, you will alternate between Jump Tech OS and waking up with buttons. Because normally you cannot cover both options at the same time. You have to make a guess whether they're gonna do a Jump Tech OS or whether they're gonna wake up with buttons. But if I wake up with a button, and one of the really popular sequences at the moment is, for example, standing jab into crouching fierce. If the opponent presses a button and the standing jab is gonna hit as a counter hit, the crouching fierce will connect. This is something Daigo has been using for a long time, actually, and it's very effective and very popular to do. So let's see what happens if I do that against this training dummy. As you can see, there was a parry, and this is where this tech gets interesting. So basically, if I do a sequence, if the opponent wakes up with a sequence of buttons that has at least a 3-frame gap, you will trigger a parry, and the parry will automatically come out. You will be able to punish your opponent for an option that is usually pretty safe to go for. On top of that, with the same input, you can blow up Jump Tech OS. So this is very, very useful information. With this tech, this is the first tech ever that I heard of that covers Jump Tech OS and wake up buttons at the same time. And yeah, I figured out a little more, even that. Like, it's not only good on offense, but it's also really, really cool on defense. With the same input, like, you can have very interesting effects on some really popular options. So, for example, if the opponent does a grab and does like a backdash shimmy, this is a very popular option that I like to go for example. If they do a delayed crouch tech, then you will blow them up with the standing hard kick, right? The second option that I'm gonna want to show you is a meaty. Just a meaty into a string, okay? And the third option that I have prepared here is just a normal shimmy. If you do a normal shimmy, that's also very popular, right? You don't have to do the backdash shimmy. And the cool thing is, if you wake up with a delayed crouch light kick into this crouching light punch plus parry option, it will have very interesting effects. So let's take a look. I might actually mess it up a little bit because the input is actually pretty strict. You don't have a lot of leniency to do that, but let's see. If they shimmy, I will hit them with a crouching light kick, okay? So let's see other options. If they do a backdash shimmy, I will actually parry the hard kick and we'll be able to punish them for it. Again, a normal shimmy. Basically, all the options are gonna come out on like randomly. And as you can see, if I block the meaty attack and the opponent chooses to continue the string, I will actually be able to parry the second attack. Like usually, if an opponent does a meaty attack, they will go for a second hit as well. And if there is a 3-frame gap, you will automatically get the parry. And this is really, really cool. There's some obvious downsides to this strategy, by the way. So if you're utilizing this input, you cannot tech a throw. So if the opponent chooses to do a throw, you won't be able to do anything against that. Okay. One other thing that is weak to this tech is, or no, strong against this tech is certain strings that don't have 3-frame gaps. For example, if you do a meaty crouching medium punch into a standing light kick, you will actually get a counter hit on the standing light kick if the opponent utilizes this tech, because there's no 3-frame gap in between, so the parry cannot come out in time. But this is actually not that important. Like, this is actually a risk that Tokido, I'm sure Tokido knows about and is willing to take. The reason why it's not that big a deal is you will still block the initial attack. You will block the initial crouching medium punch, for example, and therefore destroy the hit confirm that the opponent wants to go for. So if the opponent wants to do like I don't know, like this this sequence, they cannot go for that if you go for this tech, because the initial crouching medium punch is gonna get blocked, and they cannot hit confirm from a standing light kick. This is the reason why it's not that big a deal if the opponent chooses to go for a string that does not have 3-frame gaps. So, once again, on offense, this beats Jump Tech OS, and it also beats Wake Up Buttons if the sequence that the opponent is going for has a 3-frame gap. And if it doesn't have a 3-frame gap, as I said, it's not that big a deal because you're still safe. You're pretty safe from getting hit confirmed, basically. Yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, obviously, as I just showed you, on defense, you have some really, really neat options against shimmy attempts or against opponents that use strings on you that have 3-frame gaps. this is basically another utility for the parry. And I find this really interesting tech, and I really want to incorporate this tech into my gameplay, so I'm really grateful to Tokido to always be able to come up with that kind of crazy tech, and I'm sure this will have an impact on the game. And yeah, guys, let me know what do you think about this tech in the comment section below or live on Twitch. So take care, and I'll see you soon.